What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to my vlog, and I have a bit of a confession to make. I have kind of sort of been a bad Christian when it comes to my YouTube channel here. The main reason I say that, it's not because I regret anything I said or that I'm taking any of it back, but after going to church recently, I kind of realized that I've been leaving God somewhat out of my YouTube channel. Basically, what I mean by that is that I've been making it seem like, in a lot of my videos, that there are pretty much only two ways that your life, your identity can be decided. The one way being that you let other people decide it for you, and the other that you can decide for yourself what that is. I mentioned that in a couple of different videos, the one on progress, the one on, gay marriage, and other, basically all the identity-related videos that I've made. I've made it seem like those are the only two ways to figure out who you are, to find out about yourself and who you are and what you should do in life. But this is where I've been a bad Christian, because there's another possibility in that, and that is turning to God. Because ultimately, God is the one who created you, God has a plan for you, and God really ultimately is the one who decides who you are, what you should do, and basically what the meaning of your life is. So, when it comes to all those previous videos that I did concerning identity and that kind of stuff, I'm kind of retroactively saying, okay, here's another way to look at it, especially, for my Christian brothers and sisters out there. If you're having questions about yourself, about where you should be going in life, yeah, you could decide that for yourself or let other people tell you what you should be doing, but really, ultimately, what you should be doing, first and foremost, is turning to God and asking God who you are and what you should do. Because God made us all for a purpose. Now, I still stand by some of the things that I said before. I still think there are some of those questions and problems that are a little bit of a gray area in some cases. I don't think it's quite as clear cut as a lot of people make it out to be. But I still think, first and foremost, the ultimate deciding factor in any of your decisions in life, but especially in trying to find who you are and what you should do, God's the one who decides that. Whether you intentionally go along with God or not. At this point, people that aren't Christians are probably like, yeah, whatever. Most of you have probably even stopped watching this video by now, and if you haven't, then obviously you're continuing to watch this for a reason, and I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you need to accept God now, that you are any less loved by God or by the people around you because you haven't made that decision yet. Ultimately, I think, like I said, God makes everyone for a reason and has a purpose in mind for them all. So I think God can work with all sorts of different types of people, no matter what your race, sex, orientation, any of that kind of stuff. I believe that God can work through you and in you. So, if you're having some of those questions pop into your mind about yourself and you're not a Christian, I would highly encourage that you try talking to a Christian or try going to a church, or ultimately just try finding a way to see what God might have in store for you. Because, there is a reason that you exist. There is a reason for who you are, and you have a purpose. No life on earth is meaningless. Our world is just at such a point where everything is ambiguous, and I'm not going to say that there is no such ambiguity when it comes to finding out who you are, or even certain questions about life and faith and all that kind of stuff. Actually, what has helped my faith grow stronger is asking those questions and contemplating how God works through all of these situations. And if your experiences have led you to believe otherwise, if you've been led to believe that God is not a loving God that cares about you, then I would say you've probably had interactions with the wrong people. I would love to reach out and say that you can talk to me. I'm not going to claim to have all the answers for everything. God's the one that has those. But I certainly am trying to, create an avenue and a resource for Christians and non-Christians alike to help work through those questions and those struggles. If you have any of those questions, feel free to post them on here, and I will try and respond to those as best as I can. Now, I've been not necessarily intentionally leaving God to the side, but I've been trying to do my videos up to this point in a way that it makes it palatable for Christians and non-Christians. And, if I'm honest, there are probably going to be times in future videos where I will kind of unintentionally leave the option of turning to God out of it. I guess mostly I leave that out because I figure it's just kind of assumed if you're a Christian. Like, you should know that that is the best option right off the bat if you believe in God. If you don't know that and you're a Christian, then there is a serious chunk of your spiritual life that is missing. I know some people have a hard time getting into that habit. I mean, I'm kind of preaching to myself on this one, as I often am with a lot of these videos. It's one of those things where I've found when I've been having the toughest questions and the biggest decisions, I always find myself turning back to God no matter what the recent situations have been, because ultimately God is the one that knows me, that knows who I am and the purpose for my life and how I should go about that. Confession time over, I still stand by the claims and things like that I have made in previous videos. This is more of an addendum, something to tag along with those to my fellow Christians out there and say, hey, along with what I mentioned there, make sure that you're also praying and consulting God and the scriptures and, other spiritual resources as much as you can, because those are far more helpful than your own mind, and even more so better than just listening to random people around you. So, yeah, I guess that's all I've got for you this time around. Hope you're all doing well, and I will see you next time. Later.